Donald Trump's Gestapo is unleashing hell across peaceful communities in the United States. And literally these ICE agents and the Department of Homeland Security are attacking even law enforcement. Just be clear, if they're attacking police officers when they said they were going to be going after criminals, just think about how they're treating other people as well. This is a real post from the Department of Homeland Security. It says, Governor Pritzker doesn't just allow illegal aliens to terrorize Illinois communities. He allows them to work as sworn police officers. And it cites Radul Bojovic, who overstayed a B-2 tourist visa. It says that required him to depart the U.S. on March 31st, 2025. And they go, criminal illegal aliens have no place in our communities. And they did a post from the Hanover Park Police Department that says, congratulations, Officer Bojovic. Join us in congratulating Officer Bojovic, who graduated today, August 22nd, 2025, from the Suburban Law Enforcement Academy. He now begins and intervene 15 weeks of field training and evaluation to prepare to serve the Hanover Park community. I mean, this is who they're going after. Take a look right here where I live, near me in Oxnard, California. Take a look at what just went down. Here, play this clip.
Against immigration agents after an incident in Oxnard. And take a look at this fairly wild video posted on Instagram. We have unconfirmed reports that a Homeland Security vehicle rammed this pickup before taking a person into custody. Oxnard PD telling us that they got a call from DHS claiming that their vehicle had been rammed. They confirm DHS took someone into custody, but they don't know who. A crowd apparently quickly gathered. Police sent in officers for crowd control. That crowd eventually dispersed.
Thank God that was captured on camera, because you saw the ICE agents were going to lie and say that they were hit by the guy. And they're out of control. I mean, they're coming into peaceful communities. They're doing tear gas and pepper spray. They're shooting people with non-lethal. They're beating people up in Walmarts. It is insane out there. And that was a volunteer who they rammed into. Was Leo Martinez, was targeted by agents. He's a well-known volunteer for an organization, VC Defensa, that legally, lawfully films immigration enforcement efforts. That's who they were trying to set up there. And you go, look, that's there. There's this one in Maryland right here, where ICE detained a father at gunpoint, driving his 3 kids to elementary school. He didn't even have a chance to put his car in park before agents broke his window and dragged him out. His kids are terrified. What the hell's going on? Here, play this clip.
Oh, that's my husband. Leave him alone. He just pulled off and they intercepted him.
Danya Batista is describing what happened to her husband in Pointer Ridge in Bowie Wednesday morning.
It's very hard.
Hard for her to process. You can see what appears to be several masked ICE agents stopping him in the middle of the street as he was taking his kids to school.
I was trying to get them not to be so aggressive toward him, because they were basically pulling him out of the car very aggressively. They threw him on the floor. Like, they didn't even care.
She recorded these cell phone videos showing the moment it all happened. She says the agents didn't even give him a chance to put his car in park, and now there's damage left behind.
They broke my window. See what they did.
But this has also taken an emotional toll on their 3 young children, who are 6, 7, and 8, and were also in the car.
They are so scared. You know, they're talking about it. They say that they wanted to kill their dad because they pointed a gun at him.
Batista says the odd part of this for her is her husband has a work permit and was just with ICE on Thursday as a part of the agency's intensive supervision appearance program.
I want to bring in California Senator Alex Padilla. I could show you tens of thousands of clips. It's taking place, as you know, across California, across the country right now. It's getting worse every day. So I just want to hear from you about what you're seeing, because they seem to be accelerating this unlawful behavior.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for continuing to put a light on what's really going on. Because as you know, this administration and Donald Trump especially talks about the worst of the worst, the dangerous, violent criminals that they claim to be targeting, but in practice, in reality, it is far from that. The vast majority of people that are getting stopped, getting detained, getting arrested, many even deported without due process, do not have dangerous, violent criminal convictions. But sadly, the increased cruelty and aggressiveness of the operation, I'm all too familiar with, because it really happened in Los Angeles starting early this summer, Los Angeles was sort of the test case. And I knew then, even after a week of that activity, that they were setting the stage to be able to militarize and terrorize any city in America on any issue. And now you have not just ICE agents and Border Patrol agents, but increasingly even armed service members being deployed into places like Chicago, into Portland, into Memphis. And seems like every day or every week, there's going to be a new city added to the list. So people on the ground know how wrong it is. And, you gave a couple of examples in these reports, the power of community coming together to shed a spotlight, to be able to capture the video and the images with their phones and share via social media, share via the news so that the general public understands the overreach of this administration.
Yeah. And again, thankfully, some of this is being caught on camera because not only are these federal agents, these ICE Gestapo engaged in this behavior, they like set people up and then they lie and then they say they play the victim and they're like, you came after me, you bumped into me. Then you see the videos and it's not what they're saying at all. In a lot of these cases, I mean, by the way, that involved you. I mean, when you were assaulted by federal agents, you, a sitting United States senator, was assaulted by federal agents when you were there lawfully in the building where Kristi Noem was giving a press conference. You were there to ask questions. The federal agents assaulted you. And then even to this day, when we saw on camera them assaulting you, throwing you to the ground, and you were, I mean, you were being there peaceful. They threw you to the ground. You did nothing. And then she goes on now and she goes, he attacked me. He tried to attack me. We stopped the attack. And you look at these people like, what do you do? It's lie after lie after lie with this regime. It's wild.
Exactly. It's lie after lie after a lie. And when it comes to their mass deportation agenda, it is clearly, detain first, ask questions later. Arrest first, ask questions later. The incident where the ICE vehicle was ramming the other truck, how do they know who was in that vehicle and whether or not they had proper paperwork? You got to stop somebody and you go through the process first if you have a valid warrant for that matter. We've come to know that it's not just folks who are undocumented that are being detained and arrested. It is legal immigrants, people with work permits or legal residency even United States citizens. We know of at least 170 U.S. citizens that have been caught up with these raids, put in detention centers. We hear story after story of no access to counsel, no communication. Families don't know where they are, if they're at a local detention facility or they've been transported across state lines. It's the intended effect of this administration to stoke fear and terror into our communities. It is wrong. It is un-American, and people are continuing to organize and stand up to it.
We're talking about what's happening here and then abroad, though. I mean, to me, this story deserves more attention than it's getting. A 4-star Navy admiral, Alvin Hosley, resigned 1 year into his tenure, leading the command of the Latin American region. That's the area where we see these, in my view, these war crimes being taken place by the Trump regime as they are shooting these fishing boats, these small fishing boats. We've heard a story the other day that 2 people potentially from Trinidad and Tobago. Another story, people saying it was Colombians, and no transparency here. But now the 4-star admiral who, I mean, and people who have told me about Admiral Hosley say that this guy was by the book. He was one of the best commanders out there. And he just started leading Southern Command, which you don't see people leave the job of Southern Command 1 year into the 3-year term. Speak to that. I mean, what that's a big deal when we see 4-star admirals quitting.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many layers to what's wrong here, starting with, what would it take? What kind of conditions is he trying to work under that forces him at the end of a stellar career to resign? It's because Donald Trump, this go around, is not making the mistake, I guess you can say, from the first administration in his eyes of keeping people around him who will want to follow the law, respect the Constitution. He has eliminated those folks in the highest levels of leadership across departments and across agencies and replaced them with people who only say, yes, sir, whatever you want, regardless of the law, regardless of the Constitution. It's happening in the Department of Defense, happening in the Department of Homeland Security, happening in the Department of Health and Human Services, on and on and on. But there is another disappointment here because it could be reined in. There could be the proper oversight and accountability by Congress if our Republican colleagues would step up to their oath of office and provide that. But increasingly, they are not. They're staying silent. They're looking the other way and continuing to enable this administration that's out of control.
Before we go, any other issues that are, I mean, there's so many issues that are concerning to you, but from your perspective, that really aren't getting enough attention that you think our 6 million subscribers here need to know, that's just something that's kind of on your mind that you wish you were asked when you were doing shows like this?
Yeah, well, I think there's two things. Number one, this weekend, we're going to have another No King's Day mobilization across the country. So I encourage everybody who's able and willing to get out there, use your voice, raise a sign, make a statement. We have to continue to push back because the vast majority of Americans do not agree with this administration. Do it peacefully, of course, but get out there, let your voice be heard. And number two, as we're now closing in on 3 weeks of a government shutdown, understand why we're fighting. This administration is saying, well, if we don't reopen the government, we're going to lay some more people off. If we don't reopen the government, we're going to cut funding here and there. They've been doing that since the beginning of the year. The shutdown is a pretext for their ongoing chaos and madness. And Republicans, remember, they're in the majority in the House and the Senate. They occupy the White House. They could reopen the government if they wanted to. But Democrats are standing up for everybody's healthcare access and affordability. We're fighting for the tax credits that can keep healthcare affordable for those who access healthcare through the Affordable Care Act. Republicans and Democrats. So we're focused, we're committed, and we're going to fight to make sure we protect everybody's healthcare.
California Senator Alex Padilla, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.